Alright, we are here with baseball draft analysis. So I've already done a team analysis. That is already currently up. This is a draft analysis. I will go over everyone's teams. Now, it's not going to be as in-depth as my team was. That was its own video. I wanted to go in-depth in that. This, I will be giving my general thoughts on how the team is going to play and how well I reckon it's going to do. So, a couple things. One, these are my opinions. If you're upset, it's my opinion. Two, if you reckon I've ranked you incorrectly in this thing, please prove me wrong. Place higher, or you could even place lower. I don't think you really want to do that though. And three, I want everyone to have a bit of fun here, so I've put some funny things going through. Alright, so starting off with our S tiers. To be an S tier team, you've got to have someone who I reckon you could honestly run in VGC and probably isn't going to be counted too hard in a draft league. So starting off our S tiers, we have the Khyber Corp by Coach Downfall. Now, Downfall has taken Walking Wake, Ogerpon Rock, Farigiraf, Gudra Hisui, Sableye, Colossal, Lilligan Hisui, Botany, and Klefki. With 3 Prankstamons, you can do a whole lot. And hold on. Walking Wake, Corko, Colossal, and Lilligan Hisui. I wonder where I've seen that from before. Yeah, that's really strange. But anyway, yeah, this team can be doing a whole lot. He'll definitely be reliant on that sun being set from Torkoal with getting Lilligant after use. Lilligant fast sleep powders, getting that Torkoal with high eruptions. Farigiraf Trick Room, Walking Wake being boosted by Sun, Colossal plus Walking Wake, which has happened in Suck My Pokeball to varying degrees of success, but I would say an overall very high success. Yeah, so moving on, we have Nine Limes and the Detroit Drapions, who has Gouging Fire, Spectria, Brachion, Whimsicott, Hitmontop, Hydrapple, Malamar, Hariyama, Flamigo, and Altaria. Now, I'm not going to run over what Tracheon, Whimsicott, and Flamigo are going to do, because that's been already taken by plagiarism, because he clearly stole from my team. But yeah, there's a lot of very strong ones here. That Gouging Fire with Burning Bulwark, I think it's called, with Protect, but if your opponent makes contact, they get burned, which seems very dumb. So I would like to see what he's cooking here. That Hydrapple being very bulky with that Assault Vest. Hitmontop has actually won a world champ. I think it's only won once. I don't actually remember off the top of my head. Spectra with that high special attack. Looking at his team, he only really has 2 special attackers with that Spectra and that Hydrapple. So I'd like to see what's going to come out. But yeah, moving on. We'll be moving on to our A tiers. Now, this is teams which are pretty good, but I reckon would be a bit better with a couple changes and all that fun stuff. Okay, so starting off, our A tier is Brooklyn Paradoxes by Coach New. He has that Iron Crown Indeedee, which has being proven to be probably a bit stronger than Indeedee Armorage, but still can be used to varying degrees of success depending on how your opponent plays around it. Pelipper and Palafin. Palafin is going to be scary once it gets set up. But with that drawback of that it's being needed to be switched out first, is going to put him on the back foot straight away. So, depending on how he's going to play this, he has a very good Trick Room mode. He has a very good Tailwind mode. He has a very good team. Hey, moving on, we have the New Orleans Noivern with Bramblegast, Gouging Fire, Urshifu Rapid, Mousehold, Glamora, Gardevoir, Murkrow, Thunderous Therian, I think that is, Scizor, and Venomoth. I'm blanking on a couple of these names. I didn't write them down beforehand. So, yeah, this is a very all-around good team with a couple little bit of hiccups here and there. I'm very excited to see what's going to actually come out of this team. Obviously, that Prankster Tailwind from that Murkrow. Murkrow can be very annoying. Along with that Mousehold, that Bramblegas, that Glamora, setting up Toxic Spikes, which you probably won't really see a lot of manual setting in VGC. So it's going to be good to actually see that, how that plays for him. Urshifu rounding out that team very strongly. Again, Gouging Fire, gonna be a bit hit and miss depending on how well you play it. But yeah, moving on, we have Coach King Hup with the Witches Falls Weaviles. He's drafted a very strong team with that indeed female Armorage, which I was talking about earlier with that Iron Crown. He able to actually get that original core, which works so well together. His signature Belly Bolt, he got that again. Iron Boulder with that Mighty Cleave, I think it is, which breaks through that Protect. So you really don't want to be protecting around it. That Talonflame to get off those fast Tailwinds. Mamoswine, Electabuzz actually gets Follow Me via Egg Move. And that Ogerpon Grass, he's going to be able to do a whole lot with that. That Altaria, again, really honestly seen a lot from Altaria, but excited to see what comes out of this. So yeah, moving on to the Toronto Swablu Jays with Dragonite, Arcanine Hisui, Blood Moon Ursaluna, Hatterene, Bramblegas, Salamence, Chen Pao, Indeedee Female, Articuno Gala, and a very, very tall boy of that Executor Alolan. So he has a very strong Trick Room mode, which, talking from a lot of people through this league, is what his bread and butter is. From Oatmeal, his bread and butter is just that, being able to use Trick Room so terrifyingly. But not only can he have that Trick Room, he can also have that fast mode with that Chen Pao, that Arcanine, and that Dragonite. Salamence is sort of in the middle, along with that Articuno, who both really needing that extra bit of speed, or just needs to be a tad bit slower to be used in Trick Room. But yeah, again, it's really excited to see what this team can build. So moving on, we have the Triple Crown by Coach Dylan. Coach Dylan obviously winning the last three draft leagues, which he has been a part of, much to a lot of people's dislike. But yeah, he's drafted a very strong team. Indeedee Male, Iron Crown has been already shown. I've already talked about how dumb that set can be. That Dondozo Tatsugiri set as well. Going to be hitting hard. We've seen that from the start of, pretty much the start of Scarlet and Violet, being a very dominant threat when people aren't prepared for it. Snorlax and Sceptile both rounding out the team very well. That Drifblim, that Ogerpon Water for that bit of bulky protection, and that Charizard. The one thing I reckon Dylan's gonna need to be worried about is people who are going to be able to run very hard hitting grass and electric types to counteract all of his water types. There are 4 water types in a team of 10. So he's going to need to play around that. And not to mention, here 3 of them are 4 times weak to freeze dry. So he's going to need to be very careful around how he plays around that. But knowing Dylan, he's cooked something, which I'm very excited to see how this season plays out. Hopefully, he doesn't win again. So we will see how this season pans out. Hopefully, we get a new person holding that crown. Next we have the North Pole Ninetales by Coach Spuds. Drafting Amoonguss, Farigiraf, Ogerpon Fire, Scizor, Urshifu Rapid, Sylveon, Duraludon, Gudra Hisui, Thwackey, and Scrafty. Is it Scrafty? Scraggy? I think it's Scraggy. I'm very happy that Thwackey got picked from Rillaboom being such a high, being an S tier, being drafted pretty much immediately, to Thwackey being just straight put in C. Thwackey is, yes, just Rillaboom light. He can do a whole lot, and I'm excited to see how he gets played. A really underrated pick as well is that Amoonguss. With no sleep floors this season, he is going to be spamming those spores, trying to just put you to sleep for that extra turn that he will get. And especially in a VGC league, it is going to be annoying to play around. So, good luck to Spuds playing for this, and we will move on to Nick and the Nick's Dino Dogs, who drafted a very strong team. The only issue is he going to be able to play it correctly? No, no bashing Nick on this, but he has so many different modes, he needs to be able to work with them correctly. So he's drafted Raging Bolt, Walking Wake, Corko, Slacking, Wheezing Gala, Uxie, King Gambit, Basculegion White Stripe, Medicham, Oranguru. So with all that power from that Slacking, uh, from that Walking Wake, from that Raging Bolt, he is going to be hitting hard, and you need to be able to play around it. So good luck to Nick. I hope he can pull it off, and we'll move on to our B tiers. And so in B tiers, you need to be able to play your team very well and be in a good matchup, I reckon, to really see that full strength of your team. And again, I do want to say that all of the people in B, C, D, I respect you. I do not mean this in any harm. I just want you to know that I reckon your team could use a bit of work. And I'm willing to, at the end of the season, eat my words and say that I underranked your team. I did not see your threats. Hey, starting out the B tier is Coach Dweeb. It's not Dweeb. Fuck it. With the Maryland Terrapins. With that Iron Hands, with the Cresselia, with the Moltres Gala, with the Sinistcha, Roaring Moon, Swampert, Magma, Bruxish, Ambipom, and probably someone who he's been trying to use for a while is that Rampardos. Now, Rampardos in Trick Room can be terrifying with that 145 base attack, I think it is. So that is going to be hitting hard, but the one issue with Rampardos is that he cannot take a hit. So pretty much like most decently power hits are going to be picking up that Rampardos. So the thing that Stube is going to have to think of is the way to position his team correctly with that Rampardos if he's wanting to use it correctly. Rampardos wants to be picking up both of your opponents, but if he is unable to, he is going to be gone. So, good luck to Stube. Now, moving on, we have Ted with the Meteor Shower Dragapults, with that Volcarona, Alolan Persian, Thundurus, Sylveon, Electivire, Iron Treads, Hitmonlee, Iron Bundle, Ogerpon, and that Arch Duraludon. Arch Duraludon has already been proven to be a threat in the start of Regulation F and just normal VGC. So it is going to be something that we're going to have to play around. That Sylveon going to be hitting very hard. That Volcarona, again, going to be hitting very hard, especially with that bulky Ogerpon Water. I've been talking for so long, I'm starting to forget names. Electivire with that, again, with that egg move, Follow Me, going to be very helpful. But, Ted, I wish you the very best, and we'll be moving on to our Sacramento Slackings with Spoolboy, with that Landorus Therium, Wheezing, Raging Bolt, Amoonguss. I've got Typhlosion's name. Gothitelle, Passimian, Ninetales, Screamtail, and Stonjourner. Now, starting at just plain looking at this team, you can see a very prominent Terrace Trap. So you're going to need to play around that. People who, especially in a draft league, are going to see that, are going to prepare for that. And I'm not sure really where that weather's coming in here. Yes, you get that Hisuian Typhlosion with that powered up eruption, but that's really it. Oh, I do suppose, right? You do get that boost from Raging Bolt, but you can normally get that with a booster energy. And along with that power spot from Stonjourner, pretty much giving you a free life orb. He is going to be terrifying for a support non. No matter who he's next to, he's going to be hitting hard. And like I said earlier, that Amoonguss being able to just spam those spores, it's going to be hard to deal with. So the Sacramento Slackings are going to be one to watch. I reckon I have honestly put them lower than they probably deserve. But, oh well, too late. Now moving on, we have Toasty and Team Dustbusters with that Fluttermane, that Ferret, that Minior, that Illumise, that Iron Valiant, Homer O, King Gambit, Oranguru, Tinkaton and that Entei. They're going to be forced to be reckoned with, I reckon. But with a couple of very big issues, I reckon, as well. That Iron Valiant being that mixed attacker, yes, you can play both sides of it, physical and special, but it is honestly a lot worse than just having one solid, powerful stat. One attacking stat is normally better than two. The Entei as well, being able to show a lot of power with those just straight up extreme speeds. Like Snarls, I think it gets Will-O-Wisp. And Fluttermane being a force to be reckoned with. It being sat at top of usage for all of Scarlet and Violet VGC. So excited what they can do. And of course, they got their mascot, so I decided to dress the ferret up just the way it is. Well, not the way it is, but close enough to the way it is in their team logo. Okay, moving on, we have the Roaring Tide with Coach. I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on your name. Yeah, that Incineroar going to be annoying pretty much straight away. No. Yeah, that Incineroar going to be annoying straight away. That Metagross getting, I think, got Psycho Cut this gen, so it's not going to have to roll that like 5% miss on that. I'm very sorry, Harvey. I forgot that you were the coach for this one. Yeah, so it's going to be able to hit very strongly. That Hisuian Electrode, that Sableye, Decorate Alcremie, going to be a big concern. Porygon 2, again, here's the other, Palafin. Palafin, Decorate. He is going to be terrifying. Rhyperior. I'm not sure what you do with Rhyperior. In all honesty, I have no idea. Braviary, Hisui, Amarith, Therian. A very strong Trick Room core with very fast mons as well. So we will see what Harvey has to do. Again, I am very sorry that I forgot your name. Okay, moving on. We have Robier and the Dal City Dragonites with the Iron Hands, the Melodic, the Overquill, the Wordier, Ting Lu, Glastria, Mimikyu, Spiritomb, and Vikavolt, and also making another appearance as the bridge in the background, Archdualadon, again being a force to be reckoned with. The main issue I'm seeing with both of these Archdualadon teams is that normally Archdualadon wants to be running a rain team to get those to get those electroshocks off, where you can have that one turn boost to that special attack and be hitting that same turn. But I do suppose you can be using that with Power Herb, but you are lacking that Assault Vest, that Life Orb, whatever people are running on, whatever you're wanting to run on it. So really excited to see what can come out of this. It's a very strong Trick Room team, just from first sight. With that Iron Hands, that Vikavolt, that Glastria, and Ting Lu all being very strong in Trick Room. Okay, moving on is the Jellicent Jams with Coach Scuba. Having that Rillaboom, having that Mouse Ape, Iron Boulder, Alolan Muck, Primarina, Galarian Moltres, Sandy Shocks, Klefki, and Glaceon. All being very strong Mons by themselves, I reckon. if if they can do it correctly, they will show to be a really big threat. From what I can see from the straight this team, I don't see how they all work together. But I'm excited to be proven wrong, like I'm expecting to be with most of these. So, Scuba, good luck with your season. Good luck with Mouse 8. I think it won season 1. Can it win season 3? Hey, wait, I'm sorry. We've already had this team. Um, we're just gonna move on to our C tiers. Okay, so C tiers. I don't see where a couple of Mons play in that team. There are a couple Mons which work really well together, but a couple which are dropping the ball with the way I reckon your team's wanting to be played. So starting off our C tier, we have McMeasy with that Heatran, that Fluttermane, the Azelf, the Weezing, Gliscor, Rotom Wash, Vaporeon, Haxorus, Victreebel, and Murkrow, all being very good by themselves in their respective tiers, but I don't see where this Weezing comes in with that with its neutralizing gas, because a lot of these do really need their abilities. Now you want Murkrow to have that prankster. You want Rotom to have that levitate to get rid of that ground type of weakness. You want Heatran to have flash fire. So I don't see where Weezing fits. I don't see where Azel fits. I don't see where Victreebel fits. But I'm willing, if something does happen, I'm willing to accept that I 100% did not see what was happening with this team and therefore ranked it a lot lower than it should have been. Okay, moving on to the LA Articunos with Porygon 2, Hisuian Braviary, Gyarados, Reveroom, Rillaboom, Sneasler, Glastrier, Raichu, Hatterene, Reveroom again? Um, that doesn't seem right. Hold up. It's Hisuian. It's Hisuian Zoroark. We just gotta remember to look through that illusion. Now, Liao has that very obvious unburdened play from Sneasler, but as I've personally seen time and time again, Sneasler is a hard mon to be used correctly. Yes, if used correctly, it can be very strong, but it is very hard to use correctly. So hopefully they can play it correctly, but with that Trick Room mode, I don't see where you'll really be wanting to bring an unburdened Sneasler into it. Okay, moving on. We rounding out, I think it's Baby with the contrary Chi-Yus. With the mascot Chi-Yu, Volbeat, Meowscarada, Iron Bundle, Ditto, Big Boy Clodsire, Breloom, Ursaluna, Lucario, and Thunderous Therian. Yeah. So I don't see how a lot of these mons actually fit together. Ursaluna wants to be played in Trick Room. Meowscarada doesn't want to be played in Trick Room. That Chi-Yu doesn't want to be played in Trick Room. That Iron Bundle doesn't want to be played in Trick Room. Ditto can be fucking wherever the hell it wants to be. It could be in the ashes of hell. It'll enjoy it. Volbeat, those prankster tailwinds, that prankster which we have seen it in the Suck My Pokeball. The two coaches who have those bugs are very annoying with them because they know how to use them correctly. Lucario is a very hard one to really use. It sort of gets outclassed by a lot of other strong fighting types. So, yes, it does get that extreme speed, but losing that adaptability from when it was Mega is really a damage to Lucario. Clodsire, I don't think Clodsire does a whole lot. I haven't seen a lot come out of it, but from the Suck My Pokeballs group, Holo played Clodsire very well, but let's be real, there's not a thought behind those eyes. Those eyes could be thinking about anything, and that he would still be smiling. And now, unfortunately, moving on to our D tiers. If you've been keeping track, you'll know who's in it, and it's no one. I think we've all drafted very strong teams that I couldn't find a place in myself. That was weird. I couldn't find it in my heart to put anyone anywhere below C. So that is where I've ranked everyone. If you do not agree with it, please prove me wrong. Tell me where I should have put some people. Put it in the comments. I probably won't redo the video unless I've made a big mistake, but it'll be very weird if I had to redo this whole video because of one person. So it better be a very big mistake. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Here is the full tier list. And just a reminder that these are my opinions. From what I've seen, what I reckon your team can do. And like I've already said, prove me wrong. I would love to see someone from that C tier or that B tier to show why they should be in S, why they should be in A, why they definitely shouldn't be in whatever tier you currently are. I would also like to see one of the S tiers or one of the A tiers really prove why they should be the one person in D. Okay, you guys have a very good morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time it is where you are. But I want you to know that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I appreciate your existence. You guys have a good one. See ya.